Welcome back. We have John Van Limbeek joining us from Abbott Wealth Management on this snowy start to our Wednesday. Yeah. You live not far from me. You saw the snow.
Yeah, winter still.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Officially, though, is it March 20th or 21st? We're very close. Very close.
Countdown's there.
Countdown is there. We're talking today, though, in regard to revising your financial plan and when to know it's time to bring it back up to date. There's like 5 little sort of reminders that would be sort of indicative of the time that you should be changing things.
Yeah, I mean, it's always comes down to, you know, at least looking at that, considering it. So job changes is kind of a key. So if you're thinking about what you're making this year, maybe versus last year or the new job, you know, if the income's higher, then maybe there's an extra need for income replacement insurance. Maybe your savings plan changes, but it also works the other way around. If the job, you know, if your job income goes down, as a lot of people are seeing this year, you know, more in Alberta, but nonetheless, you know, maybe that's a time to take a look at more of a budget or something like that.
Absolutely. We do have a sort of a poster we can go to with all 5 of these. So we just talked about job changes. That's number 1. But another reason to review your plan, change in marital status. Of course, that's a big one.
Absolutely, and especially when you know, if you are, you know, you become married, obviously, then something needs to change from the financial plan that way, or at least to be looked at, right? RSPs, life insurance again, pension, formal pension plans and stuff like that. And again, the opposite, if you become separated, divorced, or there's a death in the family, then it needs to be revised that way too, again, for sure.
Absolutely. The next one up there, major life events. So what would you define as that?
Well, the biggest one is a child. Right, or children, put it that way. And when it comes down to that, you're looking at, you know, the added expenses to cover if one income earner is no longer around, and or the you know, again, the income replacement again from that point of view. What's easy for, you know, 2 working people might be a little bit harder, obviously, if you have 2 or 3 mouths to feed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then the other side to that, from a major life, or from a major life events, would be, you know, if you're from a retirement point of view, if you become disabled, maybe, you know, something like that, buy a home, start a business. Those are all kind of key factors that we have to think about.
Okay, and then the 4th one sort of alludes back to the first one, economic changes. If you have a change in how much money is coming in or going out. Exactly,
and that's, they're looking there, what they're saying there is more on the national level, more than it is from your own job control. Is more of, you know, if the economy is getting tighter or if changes, maybe you need to adjust your spending one way or the other.
Okay, and then finally a shift in your investor profile. What does that one mean exactly?
That one basically refers to as you get older and heading into retirement, you may need to adjust your assumptions and or maybe how you invest the money. Yeah, so they're making sure that things as you get closer to retire maybe more conservative. You know, at least they're looked at for sure.
And if nothing else, just checking in with your financial planner and saying, do you see a reason for me to change things up right now? Something might have happened that you didn't even think about.
Yeah, absolutely, and those are, I mean, those are just the 5 that we look at, or at least that we should be looking at. But every year you should be, if the person that you're dealing with, if they know those, they can better advise you for anything that changes, the foreseen and the planned and the unplanned kind of thing.
Absolutely. And then we have a question of the week this week. If we could go to that, Ask Abbott Wealth. I heard about the BC Training and Education Savings Grant for Children. Can you expand on this, John Van Limbeek?
We talked about that a little bit before, but it basically, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, the BC government came out and said any child born after 07 would be could qualify for a $1,200 one-time grant. So this is in addition to the RESP grants of 20%-ish or so that people put away for that. But so you have to, there's a couple qualifications for sure that you have to be there. One is having an RESP or Registered Education Savings Plan set up. But nonetheless, when they first set it up, it was in 07 or later, and there's some talk about changing that back down to 06. So any child that was born in 06 and later, but that hasn't been formalized yet. But be aware that it's actually quite a nice boost to a savings plan for that. For $1,200 for any child.
Totally.
Yeah.
My daughter qualifies for that, and my investor actually notified me. So I mean, that's what you want. Hopefully somebody. But if they didn't, then be aware of that. It's for between 2007 and 2009. And it might go down to 2006.
Correct.
Yeah. So who doesn't want $1,200 free for their child?
Absolutely.
Right. All right.
If you can.
That's right. John, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
If you have any questions for Abbott Wealth Management, information is on the screen along with the phone number 372-3736. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.